Hello everyone, this is Priyanka and today we will be learning what the fundamental unit of life is. We usually call cell the building block of life. In this chapter, we will see why it is called so. What are living organisms made of? There are microscopic structures called cells. Now cells of similar appearance or similar functions come together to form tissues. When these tissues come together, they form organs. Organs form organ systems and a collection of organ systems form an organism. So to conclude, all living organisms are made up of an incredibly small mass called cell. Now, depending on number of cells present in the body, organisms are classified into two categories. Number 1, unicellular organisms and number 2, multicellular organisms. Now, for unicellular organisms, their entire body consists of only one cell. One such example is an amoeba. The single cell is multifunctional and carries out all the processes of the organism. For multicellular organisms, their body is a collection of many cells. Examples can be human beings. Cells in this case assume different functions and only carry them out. As you can see in this picture, the fetus at 4 weeks is only made up of one cell, but at 20 weeks it has so many cells. Thus, you can conclude that all organisms have come from a single cell. That single cell divides multiple times to form new cells. Therefore, all cells arise from pre-existing cells. Now in this video, you can see the cell dividing into two different cells. So these are the chromosomes that are being separated. And now they've gone to two different polar ends of the cell. Now the cell's walls break down and then we have two different new cells that have arisen. Now let us look at a brief history as to how cells were discovered. In 1665, when Robert Hooke was examining a thin slice of cork, which is the dead part of a tree trunk, he observed a structure of a honeycomb consisting of many little compartments. Since the little compartments looked like small rooms, he named the structures cells, which is the Latin word for a little room. The shape and size of cells are related to the specific function they perform. Some cells can have changing shapes like an amoeba, while some cells like the nerve cell have a rigid shape. The fluid shape of an amoeba allows the organism to carry out the different processes it needs to carry out, as it is unicellular and the single cell has to carry out all the work. But a nerve cell, for example, has only one function, which is to pass stimuli. Hence, it does not require the fluctuating shape. There are many types of cells in our body itself. This is because there is a division of labor in our body. This means that different cells or parts of the body performs different functions allocated to the specific cells. In fact, division of labor is seen even within a cell. There are cell organelles within a cell to carry out specific function. Another interesting fact is that all cells have the same cell organelles irrespective of the functions they carry out. have already seen that the organelles are same for all types of cells irrespective of their function, we will now look at the basic function of such cell organelles. Cell organelles are simply the organs of the cell. Just like how our heart's basic purpose is pumping blood throughout the body, the basic function, for example the mitochondria, is providing energy to the cell. Let us take a look at few of the cell organelles in the cell. Plasma membrane. In simple words, plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell which separates the contents of the cell from its external environment. The plasma membrane allows the entry and exit of materials in and out. It only allows some materials and prevents the entry and exit of materials, and hence is called a selective permeable membrane. Now let us see how materials pass in and out of this membrane. Diffusion and osmosis. Diffusion. The movement of a substance from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. Osmosis. The movement of a liquid from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. As you can see here, the left side has more particles. Now, to equalize the number of particles on both sides of the partition, some particles move from the left side to the right side. This is the phenomenon of osmosis. The differences in concentration leads to three different possibilities. Let us look at this in detail now. Hypotonic solution. Any solution that has a lower osmotic pressure than another solution. It has less solute and more water. Net result is that water from outside will move into the cell by osmosis. The cell swells up later and bursts. Isotonic solution. Any solution that has the same osmotic pressure as against another solution. It has the same amount of solute and water. Net result is that there is no movement of water or solute across the membrane. The cell remains in the same size. Hypertonic solution. Any solution that has a higher osmotic pressure than another solution. It has more solute and less water. Net result. Water from inside will move outside the cell by osmosis. The cell shrinks. This image summarizes the entire tonicity. For hypotonic solutions, there is only one particle outside and more particles inside the cells. So water from outside moves inside and solute from inside moves outside. For isotonic solution, there is equal number of solute and water on both sides. So there is no movement of water or solute inside and outside the cell. For hypertonic solutions, we have more solute outside and less solute inside. So water from inside moves out and solute from outside moves in to equalize the number of solute and water in and out the cell. Now, how actually does the plasma membrane allows the entry or exit of materials? The plasma membrane is flexible and is made up of organic molecules called lipids and proteins. In unicellular organisms like amoeba, this enables the cell to engulf the food in from the external environment. This process is called as endocytosis. As you can see in this image, the food of the amoeba is in its external environment, and through the formation of a structure called the pseudopodia in the plasma membrane, the food moves inside the structure of an amoeba and later goes inside the organism. Thank you for watching this video. This was part 1 of the chapter, The Fundamental Unit of Life. For the next part, please click on the link given in the description box. Please like this video, comment if you have any doubts, subscribe to our channel and share the video to anyone else you think would find this helpful. Thank you.